Recording started. Right, this is Josh and Masai. We're doing a UFC 298. Why have I got the pen in my hand? A UFC 298 preview show, but it's a bit of a different one. I'm doing it from the inside of my car. It's been a bit of a car crash of a week in terms of what times and availability we've had. We've sorted it out. We're going to be doing we've just discussed doing a live show every week for boxing and MMA. It's going to be good, but yeah, for this one, it's just a bit of a mishmash in the car. And usually we would go live, wouldn't we, and do all the spiel, but I feel like we've just done the 10 minutes of spiel.
Yeah. To be honest, I thought it was recording the whole time. I only just realised it.
I really just realised it wasn't recording. Yeah, but I feel like that's good. I feel like it's good. We're definitely with this. So we're doing a little like a not so fixed but provisional date of a Wednesday. Every Wednesday we're going to do a MMA and boxing show live from then in 6 weeks time. But this is guaranteed. This isn't another one of my. We're going to do this and then it never happens. This is what we're agreeing on. So yeah, that's coming. But yeah, usually I think we'll probably still do that where we jump in, we say hello, and then we just click record, don't we? We have a little stupid chat for about 10 minutes about just utter nonsense. But we've just done that, so we're gonna. And I'm in a bit of a hard out of half an hour, so we're gonna kick on. So it's UFC 298, and we might touch on UFC 300 depending on how much shit we talk with each other. So we're just gonna jump straight in UFC 298. I'm gonna. Do you know what? Actually, no. Fuck it. We've got half an hour. Let's start the headliner of the prelims. So we've got Amanda Lemos versus Mackenzie Dern.
Yep.
Who do you think's going to win that fight?
I could bet
I actually think that's the one where I really don't know the most of the top six.
What do you mean?
In terms of I massively think Volkanovski's going to win. I think Whittaker's going to win. Do you know what I mean? These sort of things. Like I have set people in my head who I win. But Dern versus Lemos, I'm thinking they're both quite. They've both got massive faults. Dern's coming off. Dern looked horrendous against Andrade.
He didn't look good.
Sometimes you don't want to say, such strong terms when you're talking about him, but she looked horrendous. She looked like she had no stand up.
Yeah, she doesn't. She doesn't really her hands are not.
But even her jiu-jitsu is obviously unbelievable, unmatched. Can't touch it, but she hasn't really got takedowns. She's sloppy with the takedowns. She's obviously unbelievable once she gets it down. But I feel like she's not amazing at getting it down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's not. Yeah, she's not the most aggressive, and she's
not at all.
You're not really worried if you're the fighter on the other side about her knocking you out, kind of thing.
No, exactly. And I think she had a good win against Angela Hill, but a lot of people do. We all like Angela Hill. She's a gangster. Yeah. She's average with anyone. But I think if you're even a little bit good, you'll style on Angela Hill. And what I find with Mackenzie Dern, the UFC are massively into her. They're desperate for her to be into a title shot.
No, it's not because she's really good looking and people like her and she's got a lot of followers. Yeah. That's why. I mean,
no, but the UFC have tried to push her. There's been 2 occasions where if you just win this not so hard fight, you'll get a title fight, and she's lost.
Yeah, you got to think when she fought, it was a year and a half ago. She fought Yan Xiaonan. Yan Xiaonan was 2-1, more than 2.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember saying I really think she's gonna win, and she won, and I was just like, there's no way. Do you know what I mean? And Yan Xiaonan's good. I think she's gonna fight.
Yeah, she's good, but she's not.
So nobody thought. Everyone thought Dern would just walk through her.
Yeah.
So,
but if Dern had won that, she probably would have got a title shot.
Yeah, if she had beaten Andrade, she probably would. Well, she would have been.
If she'd have beaten Andrade, maybe not Andrade because she'd come off.
Yeah, but Andrade is a former champion, and I don't.
No, do you know what? Yeah, do you know what? I reckon if Mackenzie Dern had beaten Andrade after beating Angela Hill as well, and the whole divorce thing and it making it having the selling point of it being my life sorted. Yeah, she probably would. UFC have tried to put her in about 3 title fights, and every time she loses.
Well, she's her recent form is win 1, lose 1. So she's
for the last 6 in it. Last 6 fights.
I think her last 5 or 6 fights. Win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1. So
I think she could win this. I don't know. I don't like a training situation. I don't like the fact that she's left what's he called, Perillo.
No, apparently she is still training with him, but he's just.
Oh, is she back with him now?
No, so I think he's just been training with someone else. I think they're still in contact, but he's not.
So last time it was that he was busy for that fight, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it didn't really work out. But now I'm pretty sure she's announced that her head coach is a fella. She's
but I think she's still chatting. It was something to do with he's busy but they're still on the team, but he's not her main trainer anymore.
Yeah.
I find it kind of weird because she's such a good striking coach. So.
And she needs fucking striking.
Oh man.
And do you know what? Mackenzie Dern lets me down so much that I'm going to go Lemos.
I think Lemos is going to. I wouldn't be surprised if Dern won, but I just think Lemos is a bit more of a killer. Like I remember she beat, I think it was Marina Rodriguez, and I did not expect her to beat Marina Rodriguez.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
So I'm going to go Lemos.
But she also can get beat.
Yeah, like when
she has quite bad losses.
What I was a bit surprised about is when she fought Zhang Weili, like even though she's obviously Weili's way better than her, I feel like Lemos didn't really put up. She didn't win a round, kind of like it wasn't even close. Like, I was a bit like, oh. So
I know what you mean. I think the both. It's a good fight because they're both so imperfect.
Yeah, both
they're both quite. Yeah, do you know what I mean? They're both quite vulnerable and stuff. So I think it'd be a good fight. But we'll go on to we'll move on to the main card now. So we've got not, as I said, Aaron Hernandez. Sorry, it's Anthony Hernandez. What did I said? I originally said, is it Aaron Hernandez? Yeah, Aaron Hernandez is fucking coming back from the dead to fight fucking Opelov. So I'm ill, by the way, very ill. This cough is. I've had this cough, yeah. I had the cough from the first day JJ went back to nursery, yeah. And then I got on these steroid tablets for my asthma because I've got asthma as well. So whenever I get ill, like whenever I have like a chesty cough, my asthma goes worse. So I got these steroid tablets. Missed my mates wetting the baby's head for it because I was ill. Right. And then for a full week, I was perfect. Pardon?
Everyone's getting sick at the moment, I feel.
Oh, mate. So this was. I remember when I was well because the 26th of. I started taking the tablets on the 24th, and by the 26th of January, I was still feeling rough, and I don't really want to drink them, so I didn't go out for my mates wetting the baby's head. Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the Sunday, so the 20, by whatever the Sunday was, I felt okay, yeah, felt fine. And then it was that week when I was banned on Twitter, I went out twice and I felt fine both times I went out. And then fast forward to the following Monday, JJ goes back to nursery, boom, gets ill again, I'm ill again. Yeah. And I've had the worst, nastiest cough since.
It's all those kids that's being there, it's just long.
If you see them when you go and pick them up from nursery and you see them like picking things up on the floor and eating it and that, you just think, oh.
Yeah, their immune systems are so strong because of that.
Right, let's get off me and my illness. Go on.
Hernandez, right? I was thinking, I can't remember his last fights. I'm looking on Tapology. 4 of his last 10 fights have been cancelled. So, like...
Yeah! They were talking about this on Ariel Helwani's show, saying something about... Not always his fault, but yeah, the last four of his... Is it not like even worse, like 6 of his last something?
No, I'm looking at it now. So 4 of his last 10 have been cancelled.
Is that it? Oh, I'm thinking of... Oh, no, am I thinking of something else? Hernandez?
Yeah, Anthony Hernandez. 4 of his last 10 fights have been cancelled.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking who's... Maybe it was something to do with Costa, actually, where they said... It wasn't all his fault. It was like where the UFC announced it, and then he was never really coming. I think 6 of his last 7 fights have like actually fallen through.
Speaking of Umar Nurmagomedov, like he has like 6.
No, it's definitely someone on this card. I think because that New York Rick was sticking up for Costa, saying I think it's Costa, and he was like, no, it's not true. It's not 6. It's not 6 out of 7 actually, because 2 of them fights we all know the UFC announced them and they were never announced. The first Robert Whittaker versus Costa fight was never ever announced. That weren't announced, and it was Costa versus someone else was announced. The UFC, and you know they keep announcing fights, but they never. I know it's happened. I know it's been happening for forever. It's like it's the new thing, isn't it? That when it's happened with Sean Brady and Luke and
someone else as well. It
was Dustin Poirier.
Yeah,
I think if you've actually if you've been watching MMA, you know it's been happening for about fucking 5 years. Well, all the time I've watched MMA, and if you watch MMA and just watch MMA, you wouldn't really know about it. But I feel like if you watch MMA, you keep up with the socials and keep up with, Ariel Helwani's show, Luke Thomas's show. You find out the inner workings of the MMA in the background, and it happens all the time. Fights get announced without the UFC announced fights to put the pressure on one of the sides who's not signing all the time. They do it all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
so let's go on to Hernandez, Kopylov. Who are you saying is winning that?
No, Kopylov's actually the underdog, but I think he's going to win. He's so impressive. Every time I watch him, so impressive. But looking at Hernandez's record, I remember watching his last fight. He fought Edmund Shabazi and finished him in 1 round.
I watched that.
I think they're quite evenly matched, but I am going to lean towards Kopylov. But they're both so good. Both so good.
I'll be honest, Kopylov... would I have seen him fight?
No, you definitely have. Like he fights quite a lot and he always gets like a head kick knockout or something.
See, I'm doing this on my phone for the first time. I can't look. Who was his last 3 fights? Tell me.
I'll get it up, you know.
But I did watch Hernandez versus Shabazian, but I remember watching him in his big breakout thing during lockdown against Brunson, and his coach was I think his coach, wasn't it? Ronda Rousey's coach, Edmund, whatever he's called.
Ed? Oh.
Targaryen. That's a Game of Thrones. Ronda Rousey's caused a head movement. You know what I mean?
When she fought Holly Holm?
Yeah. Him. That was his coach.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And that was so. Any win over him, no matter how impressive it looks, I always think, I know you've got a terrible coach.
So it says here, like, these are the guys that Populov fought. I'm trying to think the one that you would. Okay, so his 2 fights ago, he fought Claudio Ribeiro on Poirier Gaethje, and then his last fight was in September against
Poirier Gaethje 2.
Yeah.
I've seen him on that. I wouldn't have seen any. I don't think I've seen it. I honestly don't think I've seen him before, but I have seen. I watched.
Yeah, he was meant to fight. So basically, his last fight against Josh Friends, he won by knockout, liver punch. But that night, he was meant to fight Hernandez as well, but Hernandez pulled out, and they got him short notice opponent.
Right. Well, I think I have seen him on the Poirier.
Yeah. And everyone says he's like Chase. He's like the evolution of Chase Hooper, then Ben Askren. They look like.
With the yeah. I've seen him. I know what you mean. Yeah. I'm gonna go for Hernandez just because you went for Kopylov.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's move on because we'll be honest. Yeah, the main card's sick. The card's sick. Them 2 fights. Listen, I want to watch them 2 fights. I'm going to sit down and watch them 2 fights. But these next 4 fights are where it's at, innit? Let's be honest, right? And I said this before we went live. Can you believe Merab versus Cejudo is below Neil versus Gary? To me, it makes no sense. In my head, I was thinking, is the only thing I could think of, which doesn't, and now it makes more sense now. I'm actually thinking of it properly because it's happened before. I was thinking about the what's he called, Trevor Whitman. Is it because Eric Albertine is Cejudo's trainer and Costa's trainer? So you need a gap.
Possibly, but I think Trevor Whitman, he done it with Usman, Gaethje.
No, he never. Because if you remember, the one when he had all 3, I know he had to do it with the 2 title fights because he had no choice. But they allowed Gaethje to fight the first fight on the card. Do you remember he opened the pay-per-view? So maybe they've just said, listen, can you? Maybe. I know what Dana White said before, when there's no stakes and it's not like a thing, they usually go off weight. I know that's definitely been said before, but I just feel like Merab Cejudo, listen, Neil Gary's a good fight. I can't wait for it. I'm excited for it. This is the fight I wanted when it got randomly changed to Luke. I know he wanted the Luke fight. I wanted the Neil fight, but Cejudo Merab, I said this on Twitter the other day. Cejudo Merab to me is up there with anything that's on UFC 300.
Nah, I wouldn't agree with that.
What are you more looking forward to on 300 than this?
Charles Oliveira against Arman Tsarukyan.
Yeah, okay. Up there, there's one fight. Go on, the other one. What's the other one on that card?
On UFC 300.
Because I'm looking forward, I promise you now, this is not just, and I'm not just, that's one of my catchphrases, I'm not just saying things for the sake of it. I'm looking forward to Merab Cejudo more, maybe not because it's not 5 rounds, but I'm looking forward to that more than Gaethje Holloway.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that more than Gaethje Holloway. Yeah. But I can't remember what's on for UFC 300. My mind just went blank. Oliveira.
Doesn't matter. We'll talk about the main event, but we can do a full 300 video next week. Let's go. Merab Cejudo.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because I just think more people are especially the casuals and stuff, and people that obviously people really don't like Gary, and most people think Merab is a boring fighter. So I'm not.
Yeah, that's true.
Merab
Cejudo. Go on. Who's winning?
I've been going back and forth. Do you know what? If I had to bet my house on it, I'm going to say Merab decision.
Merab decision. I think it's definitely going all 3.
You know what though? So basically, I watched Michael Bisping's YouTube channel yesterday. He interviewed all the fighters just yesterday when they were before they went to the press conference. And so Cejudo was saying, the reason why Merab is so good, he lasts so long, he wears on people, he has a level, but he knows if he tried to go above that, he would tire himself out. So he's just containing people. He's not trying to that's why he never finishes anyone. His last finish was nearly 3 years ago against Ricky Simone, where he nearly got finished. So it's but so if I had to bet my house on it, I'd say Merab. But if Cejudo knocks him out, would you be surprised? No.
Yeah. I think Merab. under conditions I'm doing this video. I think Merab's too tough to be took out by Cejudo. I know you're saying he nearly got finished by Ricky Simon, but Ricky Simon punches hard, very hard.
Simone's good. I like Simone.
Obviously, I can. Do you ever have a loss in a fighter where you just can't let it go? And I always think of Ricky Simon getting smoked by Uriah Faber when he was on his comeback fight. I just feel like I'll never be able to get that out of my head and ever be able to back Ricky Simon anything he ever does.
Ricky Simone's one of those guys that he'll beat somebody he shouldn't lose to. Like, for example, Jack Shaw was undefeated and he just
and he beat him. Yeah,
so he can beat people, but he'll lose the fights that he shouldn't, and then
should win. Yeah, I get that.
A lot of people were like, he's gonna beat Song Yadong, and then he's gonna get into the top, and then he lost. A close fight was close, but it was like he lost. So it's like he's a weird fighter.
I get that. I think Merab Cejudo. I think Cejudo before. If Cejudo fights, I know it's ridiculous because the timelines don't work, but if Cejudo that beats Don Cruz doesn't take 3 years off and fights this version of Merab now, I think he beats him. And although he's just gone 5 rounds with Aljo, so it's not like cardio's an issue, I think you could see, and maybe this is maybe this goes against what I'm saying, because it's like rust. There was definitely rust issues in the Aljo fight. You could see that he was a bit rusty.
Yeah.
So maybe you're thinking, well, he's had another camp now. This is another fight. It's a bit more activity. But I think 3 years off, which 37 at such a light division. I know Merab's not young, but I just think Merab's going to be too much. I think Luke Thomas said he's good for 7 takedowns. A 15-minute fight. It's the only person who's got a higher record than him is Kopylov. Is it Kopylov?
Kopylov?
No. Hernandez?
Someone
on this card is the only person who's got... Somebody on this card is the only person in the UFC at the minute who has more takedowns per 3-round fight than Merab. Will it be Hernandez?
Maybe, but I guess Merab is probably more impressive because obviously
he's fought.
He's fighting high level.
But one thing I would say about Cejudo's chances is, if you remember, and it's not that, if you remember, what's wrong with me? Aldo was able to resist all the takedowns against Merab, and was this is a terrible video, isn't it? And was I would say handling him quite well until he gassed at altitude. Yeah,
that's true. You know what? I remember that fight because I really, really wanted Aldo to win, because I was thinking if Aldo wins this, he can fight.
I thought the same.
And he, I would say he won at least one round. I think he was 29-28. But Merab, and actually, if you remember
Merab just outlasted him. I think he just outlasted him.
Merab and I think Usman were the only fighters that didn't get tired. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. And obviously, Merab, since then, he's only fought once since then against Yan, and he just went through. He didn't take him out. He didn't do any damage, but he just dominated.
Just ran through. He has got seal. I honestly don't think anyone I've ever seen in the UFC, this is a bold statement, has ever weaponized cardio like him. He has got serious cardio.
Yeah, him, Habib.
Because Habib used to take rounds off. He would take it. He took a round off against Quinta. He took a round off against McGregor. He would always take rounds off. Merab doesn't seem to take rounds off ever.
Yeah, but then I get what you're saying, but then I don't know if that's true, because guys for example, I was actually watching some Habib fights the other day. He's I don't think, obviously he was dominant, but there was rounds that he lost, and I don't think it was, I'm going to take this round off. I don't think it was in boxing where Floyd would take rounds off. I don't think it was like that. Even the first round against Gaethje, I've watched that fight so many times. It was close, but Gaethje won that round, sort of thing. So it's
interesting.
He didn't get. I don't think Habib got tired. I've never seen.
But but that's not what I'm saying. I don't think who takes the first round off. No one. But he definitely took the 4th round off against Quinta. He definitely took the 3rd round off against McGregor.
Because he finished him in the 4th. But I don't think he did.
No, he did, bro. Come on, bro.
He wanted to kill.
I love McGregor and I hate Khabib, so I would love to say McGregor just started feeling himself, got a little move for it, but because I despise Khabib, love McGregor.
I don't. I like Khabib, but I'm just saying. I love McGregor's my favorite fighter, but when I was
I
watching,
think he took it off. I think he took the round off.
Honestly, you could tell, and obviously because everything that happened after, he wanted to kill him. He was trying to finish him from the very start. Do you know what I mean? I just don't think.
Watch round 3 again of that fight, and you can't tell me he's
I
not
watched
taking
it many,
it.
like even the Poirier, because if you look when he became champion, so he went to a decision with Ali Quinter, who took it off like a week's notice.
Yeah.
He went 4th round with McGregor, then it was 3rd round with Poirier, 2nd round with Gaethje. He kept getting better as each fight.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I agree. Murad's, he is relentless. He really is.
He is relentless. Right, so go on. Let's get a winner for this one.
Murad decision.
You win Murad decision. I'm going to go Murad decision. He'll be on the bet. But I do think 3 rounds. I think Murad decision is the most likely event, but I think Cejudo's more likely if there's going to be a stoppage. I don't think Murad stops Cejudo, but I think Cejudo could stop Murad. Because he's definitely better with the hands, Cejudo.
Yeah, and I think Cejudo knows he has to finish him.
Yeah, I think so.
Because he could win it.
Right.
He could, but yeah, we'll see.
Let's go up. So we're going to go to Neil Garrett. I think fucking Garrett has managed to ring in sick for the December card, right? Where the heat was on in that press conference, everyone was going, what's press conference? And this press conference, Neil's just like not that ass. I don't know how he's managed to get 2 people in Luke and Neil who are not really that arsed about fighting back when he's got so much stuff that they could fucking terrorize him for. Do you know what I mean? He's got quite lucky with this, and I think Neil has let him off the hook in terms of the press conference because Gary, to me, doesn't look all there. He is the definition of can give it and can't take it. The way he decides what's off limits and like Neil Magny stuff. You know, like I listened to the whole interview. Neil Magny said in the end it never, but the Neil Magny stuff like started messing about with custody of his kids and stuff, and it's like you can't start doing that. And then when people start calling your missus like a bit of a slag because she's got this book out and you're living with a fucking ex and Machado's her ex's name, isn't it?
No. So I looked into that. So, but basically, because I found who her ex is. So Machado is actually her name. She's like half.
Okay, that's fine.
But basically, he's taken his reasoning is that he has also taken
the kid because of the kid in it.
So that the kid doesn't feel. But the way I see it is that like that
why is it not? Because why is the kid not got the dad's name then?
Yeah, but obviously the dad is that actual dad is obviously still in contact with the son. Because he works as his nutritionist. So
he's nutritionist, isn't it?
That dad's not going to be like, well, you're not going to take his surname, which is fair enough.
No, I'm saying, why has the kid not got the dad's surname?
No, what do you mean?
Right, so her name's Machado.
Yeah.
So the kid must be called Machado, because they said he took Machado, so that the kids have all got like similar names.
Right.
So why is the kid's surname Machado?
But I'm assuming that the kid's name is Machado and whatever.
So maybe double-barreled again.
Yeah, and obviously Brazilians. Obviously, I actually think her husband is English because she's English.
She's Brazilian.
Yeah, but she's English as well. What? She's
I know. Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Right. To be honest, why do I give a fuck, and why does anybody give a fuck about Gary and his wife? No. But
we're talking about because it's weird. Like I mean, obviously, I don't have kids. But you do have a kid. You would never take.
Oh no, there was never a debate ever. It would never happen that any of my kids have a double barrel name or the mum's name. It is my last name.
I mean, I don't even have kids. But if, for example, like I got married, I wouldn't mind my wife not even. I mean, I wouldn't mind a little bit. I wouldn't. But
not into the double barrel with me. I'm all
fashioned. No, I'm saying, if you want to not take my name, fair enough. But the kids, they got to have my name.
Like, 100%, yeah. 100%. Right, let's just go on to the fight. Because I feel like sometimes although I will laugh at Gary for the whole situation that's going on. I feel like sometimes it gets a bit weird when it like starts merging into like sort of like influencer territory when you start talking about all the fighters' wives and kids and shit. Not influence, but you know what I mean? Sort of like, right, who's going to win, Gary or Neil?
I'm going to say it's going to be close, but I'm going to say Ian Gary decision.
Decision? See, I have in my head that one of them's going to get stopped. I think Neil can be cracked. Gary has been dropped a couple of times. And I just think Gary likes to keep it long, doesn't he, at range?
Yeah.
Which was perfect against Magny. Dead easy. Magny doesn't really do much standing, and he was able to just kick his legs off. Neil likes to get inside and he's got serious power on it.
And he's such a good boxer.
An incredible boxer. So,
and do you know what? He knocked out Bilal Muhammad. People forget.
I know he did. Yeah. And I never remember him. Do you remember him running through Mike Perry as well?
I don't remember that, to be honest.
Who's got a chin? Yeah, he did. I'm gonna I'm gonna go right. So I think when I do my little accumulator, I will put Neil. I'll put Gary on the accumulator, but I actually sneakily think Neil stoppage.
Well, then you should bet on it. Then.
Maybe I'll do 2.
Yeah. Okay. I think.
But yeah, I'm gonna go Neil stoppage.
I'm gonna go Gary decision because I think everyone thinks as well. Gary's just gonna not that he's just gonna walk through him, but they obviously think someone. And I just think, and if you look at like when Jeff Neal, he's tough anyway. Like I remember when he fought Luke a year and a half ago. I was like, oh my god, I was so confident he was gonna win, and I put quite a lot of money. Yeah, on Luke. No, sorry, on Jeff Neal.
Yeah.
I was so confident he was gonna win, and then he knocked it, and he was the underdog. I was like, oh my days. But when he got finished, obviously he fought Shavkat, didn't he? Last fight.
Yeah. But that was he gave Shavkat all the trouble.
Yeah, like he hit him with some shots. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
See, the Neil fight. It happens a lot in MMA, and the Neil fight was another example of this. Where even though it didn't work out, I think MMA fans, especially like MMA fans, more like yourself who have not come from boxing first, I think because the sport's so new, you're very susceptible to hype trains. You don't get onto hype trains as quick, I don't think, as boxing fans who come over to MMA. Really, I seriously believe that. Your Hamzats and stuff like that, and then when they come up against Burns and Usman, they don't look too good. It's like, I feel like hype trains. This is my thing about Topuria. I think hype trains in MMA come crashing down a lot more because in boxing we don't suffer it. Like we're not blagged as easy by an unbeaten record anymore in boxing because all prospects have unbeaten records. Yeah, at first, and I think in MMA it's starting to get the point where it is. And this makes no sense because it doesn't really matter. Like there's literally loads of them.
No, it does. It does.
But you know what I mean? I think sometimes in MMA fans who have not come from boxing give a lot of stock to untested. This is going to go into the main. I'll say what I'm saying because this is mainly my main event, like my main event idea. But I think with Gary, like I even look at Gary and I think people are really high on Gary and he's not really got like Neil Magny loses a lot. He's not got like Danny Rodriguez. Not great. Do you know what I mean? Like was lucky to get the win against Zhang at the Ling at the whatever it's called. When it all got fucking jigged around. I think Neil. I
think Gary, but even though I get what you're saying, I'm not saying Gary's the best thing ever. But I would not be surprised if he's champion one day. I think he is really good. I genuinely think, I think he's
listen, I wouldn't be surprised to see it. And I think he's definitely a big enough name and got enough beef and enough star potential where he will get a title shot. I don't think he'll have to. He's not going to be. Do you know where you get like so? Bilal Muhammad's probably going to have to. He's going to go the long way around for a title shot, and you could even see somewhere down. You could even see somehow that Bilal Muhammad might have to win again. I know he probably won't, but you know what I mean. Like it's that sort of personality. I don't think Gary will have to. He'll have to win more. I think if he beats Neil and then went and got another one big win, he would probably get a title shot.
Yeah, I think if he beats Jeff Neal tomorrow, and then he beat I don't know who's up there. Maybe like, do you know what though? I was thinking that, let's just say, because I think if Gary wins, he should fight Shavkat next.
Yeah, but I don't think he wants that fight. Yeah, he said he wants little increments. I don't think he wants to go and get ran over by Shavkat.
Yeah, but who is he going to fight? Well, Kamaru Usman? Like, I don't think so. Like,
could do the Lukey fight, could do the Brady fight. There's fights there. Right, let's move on to the core main because we're on 28 minutes and we had a 30-minute cut off, and so we're definitely not going to. We'll save the UFC 300 chat. So after we've done videos on UFC 300 anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll talk about.
You might as well wait for the announcement anyway.
Yeah, the announcement, then we'll talk about it next week. Right, Bobby Knuckles, Robert Whittaker versus Diego Costa. Paulo Costa. What are you saying?
I'm gonna go Borrachinha. I think he's gonna knock him out. I think he's gonna knock out Whittaker. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this because of a lasting effect of the DDP thing, or what? Tell me why. Tell me why you think Costa's going to beat my guy Bobby.
I love Whittaker, but I just think when he fought, I remember when he fought Izzy.
Threw me off with this.
Oh well, when he fought Izzy 2 years ago, I was really certain he was going to win. And then when
I think Whittaker beat Adesanya the second time.
Yeah, it was close, but I don't think it was. I was never in doubt when the scorecards were getting read. So
I thought it was 3-2 Whitaker.
I was just like, okay, he's just never going to beat Adesanya. And then obviously Pereira came around, and then obviously, do you know what I mean? And then he loses to DDP. I just don't think. And obviously, people can go, "Oh, it's just numbers," but it does make a difference for fighters. I don't know. I don't see why it's any different with Whitaker or anybody else. I just think like he lost to DDP. Costa's like not similar to DDP, but he can brawl.
Yeah. No, do you know what? I didn't know if you were going to say that, but yeah, I would say similar in terms of what they are. They're both like athletes who are a bit unorthodox and just with like crazy power. But I think DDP sets things up a lot more than Costa.
Yeah, but then you could
Do you
argue.
know what? Do you know this is exactly this is the same as what I said before about that one loss. The Costa loss to Vittori sits in my mind a lot, where he just didn't do anything and was dead easy to hit. And
I think that's an anomaly because he came in, he was injured for like 6 weeks.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, but everyone's injured coming into fight. A lot of people are injured.
And Vittori's good. Like you've got to think, never been fit. One of the best chins in, and it was a close fight in the end. It wasn't like
it was a close fight, but I was high on Costa, and then he lost. He got smoked by Adesanya.
Oh yeah.
Then lost to, and in the Vittori fight where he couldn't make it. I just think Whitaker's going to piece him up. I think that jab. If Whitaker's listen, if he gets beat, the thing what people forget is Whitaker's only young, but he's not young in terms of the wars. Is that them 2 fights with Romero were wars. You know what I mean? And then they get sparked by Adesanya after a long injury layout. He has a fucking another war with Adesanya. Like he's had some serious wars. So I wouldn't surprise me if he loses, but I am going to go Whitaker stoppage.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. It could go either way, but I just think, and I think Costa is going to be coming into his prime. I know, like everyone says, "Oh, he beat an old man, Rockhold," but honestly, I just think I just really do think he's good, and I just think he kind of matches up well with the guys of Strickland and DDP. I think Adesanya just toyed with him, but those two guys,
yeah, I get that.
I just think he matches up well with them.
It's quite funny like the fall from grace where when Pereira won the title and everyone was like, if Izzy can't beat him second time, Whitaker's going to fight him and win easy. And would you put any money on Whitaker beating Pereira in any weight class now? But it was almost like de facto Whitaker was going to come. He was going to beat Pereira because Pereira was dead like basic and he just had Adesanya's number, but he wasn't that good. And it's just not the case.
You know what? It's weird how that worked. Like MMA math doesn't work because it's weird. I almost feel like I would be more confident with Whitaker against Pereira than I would say Costa because I just feel like he would be a lot easier to take down, and like you got to think like I think one of the reasons as well like no listen like Pereira like he got knocked out by Izzy in that last fight because I just think that weight cut is just so I don't even know.
True at that weight maybe if I'm thinking about that weight it's different especially that weight.
Adesanya fought some people are saying Adesanya and Pereira at UFC 300 at 205 mate I don't think even
Izzy didn't want that at 205, mate. Izzy would get ran over at 205. The way to beat Pereira is because he's weight drained. He can't take a punch. He's beat him every right. Let's go up to the main event. We've done that. So you're going Costa, I'm going Bobby. We've done a little split here. I've gone Neil, you've gone Gary. We've both gone Rob. Right. So let's go. The main event. Ilia Topuria is trying to defeat the long-reigning featherweight champion, probably the greatest featherweight of all time.
Yeah.
Volkanovski. I'll start with this one. I'll let you start with the others. I think this is going to be one of them, exactly like I just said, where Volkanovski puts on a fucking clinic, beats him from pillar to post, right? Batters him. There'll be some hairy moments for him because Volkanovski can be dropped. We've seen him be dropped by Max. Isn't really a puncher. He's been dropped by Max. He got dropped by Chad Mendes. Did he get dropped in the Aldo fight?
No, I don't think he did. But obviously, Islam dropped him.
He's been dropped before. Topuria hits hard. He's a good boxer, got good ground and pound and that. But I think he'll maybe have some hairy moments. But I think Volkanovski is going to be one of them where you think, yeah, you know what? Beating Emmett, and I know it was a wide decision, but beating Emmett and not really enjoying Jai Herbert is not a setup for beating Volkanovski, the best featherweight of all time. He is going to style him, and it's going to be the only thing that I will say. The only thing that's there is. But then again, I say about the Aussie, I don't think this works with an Aussie. The only thing I'll say is you got sparked by Makachev a few months ago. Is that in your mind? Have you been training the same? But I feel like Australians, some reason I couple group Australians in with Americans of being a bit soft and a bit weird and that. But Australians are ruthless bastards. You know, They're nothing like Americans. Americans are soft, and even British people can get knocked out and they can go a bit soft. Australians are ruthless, hard bastards, you know. And I don't think that knockout's going to affect him. I think Volkanovski's always had this like bulletproof mentality where he's just like, I'm a fighter, I want to earn money and fight and earn money and fight. And I don't think he's going to be thinking too much about that. And I think he's going to go out and style on Topuria. I think he's going to batter him.
I think it could go either which way, but I just think. And also, what I don't like is just because when I was literally when Islam knocked out Alex, I was just like, oh man, this could be terrible. Because I just think, and what I didn't like is this fight is in we're in February now. That fight was October. Imagine if this fight was UFC 300 or like May, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, definitely. I would have liked a bigger gap.
That's why I'm a bit worried. So to be honest, I do think Topuria is going to win.
You think Topuria's going to win?
Yeah, I think he's going to knock him out.
Do you know what? Listen, how about this, yeah? For next week. So I've gone Volk, you've gone Topuria, I've gone Whitaker, you've gone Costa, I've gone Neil, you've gone Gary. Remember a little £5 bet.
All right. So who gets more right?
So it's it's best 2 out of 3, isn't it, really?
Yeah, cool. Whoever does gets a $5. Virtual handshake.
Virtual shake, yes, buzzing.
Are you really confident about Volkanovski win? Because I want Volkanovski.
Yep. No, I think he's gonna. See, the thing is with me, if obviously we followed each other on Twitter for years, whenever I go heavy on an opinion, it's usually proved quite wrong. But I'll be honest with that. But no, I think within 2 rounds you're gonna think this is far too early for Topuria. He's not had the right step ups. He's not proven. Volkanovski's a proper veteran now. He's, like I said, the best featherweight of all. I think it's going to be like when a boxer gets a world title shot too early and they just get shown up. And I don't think that's the end. So the way I think you went. Did you know how mad is this? Yeah, Topuria's last fight on his contract was the Emmett fight.
I think I remember that at the time, but we always knew he was going to re-sign.
Yeah. So and Mick Hunter, in it.
No,
Mick, not Mick. No, what's the Hunter one called then?
Hunter Campbell.
Hunter Campbell. Sorry, what the fuck am I on about? Hunter Campbell flew to Madrid to have a meeting with Malky Kawa to re-sign him. I think they're not too worried. I think in the short term, the UFC think Volkanovski's a great champion. He will take short notice fights. He's active all the time. He will fight 3 times a year, 4 times a year. Doesn't give a fuck. He'll fight upper weight. If you ring him on, if he's fought and he's fine, and you ring him and say, we need you to last minute fill in featherweight title fight against any of these challengers, he'll do it. He's the perfect champion for the UFC. I don't think they'd be asked about him winning, getting another year out of him being champion, because I think MMA, we don't give a fuck about losses. You look at Ngannou, who got smoked by Stipe when it was too early for him, and now he's the baddest MMA heavyweight on the planet. Yeah. I don't think losses don't matter. I think the UFC would love another year of such a good, active, disciplined champion like Volkanovski, and Topuria can come again. They can go and do a UFC fight night card in Spain in one of the 20k arenas in Madrid with him, and then build him back up again. And then in another year's time, when he beats a couple of people and either Volkanovski's lost or Volkanovski's another year older, go again. I don't think this loss for Topuria means anything. But I do think it's going to be proven it's far too early. You weren't ready for it, but I don't think it's going to be like the worst thing in the world.
But if Topuria does lose, I don't think it's like, it's not the end of the world. It's just that he'll have to eat a lot of humble pie.
Because of the bio, the documentary. But if your head's on and you think, well, I've just cashed $500,000 because he'll get 500 grand money. Cashed $500,000. I've got this big contract. I'm a star. Like,
but people soon forget. So, like, for example,
of course, win one. Go and if they do a UFC Madrid in February and he wins.
Yeah, like
everyone's forgot.
But you've got to think there are guys at the top of the division who hasn't fought, who will be. Let's say he loses to Volkanovski. You've got Rodriguez and Movsar is lurking. Nobody mentions him because they're scared, but he's a hard fight. So Movsar.
Even Alan, I'd even watch Topuria versus Alan in Spain.
Oh yeah, or even Topuria. I don't think that. You know what? I really don't think they're going to go to Spain. But I think if they done Topuria, Alan in like London,
anywhere,
or Manchester.
There's plenty of fights for him. It's not a death sentence of viewings, but I'm going to go Volk. You're going Topuria. Yeah. Right, we're 10 minutes over, and we haven't even done the UFC field. I don't know. We thought this was going to be half an hour, 40 minutes. I'm fucking sat outside the gym in my car doing this, right? So we're not quite definite on the thing, but we're working for April, an April start date, one night a week at UFC, and then MMA and boxing live podcast
With
with the
boxing,
boys.
I only know about a big fight like Haney.
I'll do the heavy lifting. I can do the heavy lifting with the boxing. You
like
can do the heavy lifting with the MMA.
Like they just announced Haney Garcia. Like I know about that, but
Yeah, of course. That's good though. I think that'd be good. That'll work out well because like it'll be good to push you onto things as well.
That's April 20th.
Yes, it is 420. Yeah. Oh, I think it'd be good. And also, don't you tend to watch Apex cards and stuff a little bit?
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, unless I'm doing something, I watch every single one.
Yeah, so you watch Apex cards. I have not watched an Apex card in 2 years.
Right. Yeah.
Will not watch Apex cards. Don't really even talk about them. So if there's an Apex card on with a boxing card, you can do the heavy lifting on the Apex cards, and I can do the heavy lifting on the boxing cards. It'll work out well.
The Apex cards, I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna be doing them less. I think hopefully this year.
Can you believe Fingy's going to be coming up? I think they worked out on a real show by like August, September. It'll be Apex 100.
That's the only thing I'm genuinely looking forward to Apex 100.
I think they'll do something for it. I think it'll be quite funny.
That's why I want to get there because we've just done I think 86 or 87.
82?
No, it's like 86 or 87.
Oh, 86, yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah, so I think we need like another 14 more, but apparently only 2 of the next 5 or 6 are going to be. So it always starts the first few of the year, like last year, low. But then once you get to like February, March, they're a lot less frequent, and then it gets to like the end of the year, and then there's a few. So
yeah,
I think that get to like 94, 95, 96.
Nah, we're gonna get to 100. Trust me.
Well, this year.
Yeah, the same by September.
I don't know. You know, I think it will be like.
They worked it out on the show.
No, but you got to think
September, October. Sorry, they worked it out on a real show.
October. Do you not think though? It's got to be if we're on like UFC 86 now, that's 14 more shows. So just think that's 14 weeks. That's 3.5 months. We're already basically in March, right? So the next Apex show is in March, which means they'd have to do it consistently every week to get to at least July, August. And they're not going to do that. Obviously, you've got Saudi Arabia coming up. You've got a few shows in the UK.
But they worked it out. They sat and worked it out because
I thought they said that by the end of the year they'll be at like 94, 95.
Nah, I feel like that's wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've gone 42 minutes, so maybe I'm wrong, and I don't even watch Apex cards, and I fucking hate them. So why am I arguing about Apex? I'll probably maybe watch you Apex 100 just about. I won't be watching the fucking.
I definitely will. I can't wait.
Right, so yeah, we're gonna go. This will be out. I'm gonna put this out now. I'm gonna go in the gym and then I'll put it out. Yeah, been good.
All right,
sweet.